This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, I want to talk about the Houston Rockets and them sitting there and dispatching 193, folks. They sat there and they dispatched and they dismantled and they demolished 193. Rockets versus the Jazz. We knew that the Jazz was no competition for the Rockets. I mean, that's just, brain science. You could tell that the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell and company, for some reason, James Harden always has, an upper advantage against the likes of a Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what it is, but when they play against one another, James Harden always is able to have the advantage over him. So it is what it is. I mean, it was expected for them to dispatch the Utah Jazz. So really, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. My tell of the tape and my take of this matchup was this was a cakewalk series for the Houston Rockets in terms of matchups. They were just, matched up perfectly against the likes of a Utah Jazz team. Utah Jazz is not as deep as the Rockets. The Rockets are more experienced. James Harden at this point is the better player than Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan Mitchell, he's going to be a player to be reckoned with in another 2 to 3 more years. I feel like he's 2 to 3 more years away from really taking off gear and becoming that dominant player in the Western Conference. But as of right now, James Harden, is above him. I'm not going to say league and shoulders, but he is above him. Plus, you got the dynamic experience of a Chris Paul. So, Clint Capella, we all know he's a jack of all trades. He can do everything on the basketball court. So I expected the Houston Rockets to have a relatively easy time in this series. To be honest with you, should have been a sweep or a sweep. But they won in 5 games. But here's the drawback to that. This is where the Houston Rockets series takes its inevitable end. They are going, and hear me well, the Houston Rockets are going to be dispatched in 6 games by the Golden State Warriors. Because there's a such thing in basketball called battle tested. I'm going to educate you guys. See, lest you guys forget, I have to remind you guys' ass. In basketball, there's such a thing as when a team is battle tested. What does that mean? It means that the team is being tested because of the fact that they are playing a series that's harder than what the series should have presented itself to be. If you guys remember, back in 2008, the Boston Celtics went 7 games in the first round. Everybody was like, man, this super team, boy, they getting exposed. They might lose the first round. And then what ended up happening? They started killing everybody. Round 2, all the way up and going to the finals. We saw what happened, how they dispatched Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant was in video game mode in 2008, right? But we saw how they dispatched them in 6 games. Well, this is very much the same likelihood with the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people are sleeping on the Golden State Warriors, and they don't understand that the Warriors are pretty much in the same position that they've always been, minus the DeMarcus Cousins. This is what Golden State Warriors were last year. It's the same team. The problem is they've been so comfortable in playing with DeMarcus Cousins that they've gotten out of this normal identity. But really, when you look at it, this is the normal identity of the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry's been chilling a little too much. Kevin Durant, we've been getting what we're supposed to get from him, which is, astronomical scoring feats. The 38-point game, 33-point game, 45-point game. He's clearly the MVP of that team of this series. But Stephen Curry hasn't been playing up to par. The Stephen Curry that I know that razzle-dazzles and people, that averages damn near 30-plus points, I haven't seen that Stephen Curry showed up. The Stephen Curry of Game 1 and Game 2, where the fuck is he at? I haven't seen him. When that Curry decides to show up, the LA Clippers are going to get dispatched in 6 games. And when that ends up happening, what's going to happen is the Rockets are going to get a shell shock in Game 1. Because they're going to be playing a Warriors team that's still fresh. See, they would have wanted the Warriors to dispatch, the Clippers, because now they would have been coming out the gate at the same level as the Rockets. But when you have a team that's battle tested, for y'all that knows basketball, and for y'all that don't know basketball, battle tested is just basically a term of when a team has been pretty much pushed to the brink. You don't want to face a team like that, especially when you have rest, because you're not ready, especially in a game one situation. You're not ready for the onslaught that they're going to be levying on you and they're going to put on your ass. And that's what I think is going to happen. People are like, oh, the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors are going to be a 7-game series. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a 6-game series, because guess what? If the Golden State Warriors needed a wake-up call, this was the wake-up call that they got. This last defeat in Game 5. See, the thing with the Warriors that people don't understand is they play their best basketball when they're against their ropes. When people are doubting them, like the media zealots are doing right now, the James Harden Riders media is sitting there and doing. When they do shit like that, what ends up happening is you have a team like the Golden State Warriors that want to prove everybody wrong. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to prove everyone, including the Rockets, wrong. The Rockets are going to get a shell shock. They're going to win 2 games. It's going to be a 6-game series. This is probably going to be the hardest playoff run for the Golden State Warriors. Not because of Kevin Durant, because like I told you, he has the Tom Brady syndrome, but it's because of everybody else. The Klay Thompsons of the world, the Stephen Currys of the world, the Draymond Greens of the world. These inconsistent type of motherfuckers. They're so inconsistent that they force Kevin Durant to have to do all the heavy lifting. Hence, Kevin Durant is going to teach their ass a lesson. After this year, I have a funny feeling. I thought he was going to stay for a 4-peat, but I have a funny feeling he's going to leave, because he has to send a message. And the message is, like Russell Westbrook, when you have me, take care of me. Because if you don't, I can go somewhere else and make that situation over the top. So this is the last season that I'm believing they're going to be together. I was hoping and banking on a 4-peat, but the way Stephen Curry's been playing, it's not giving me hopes. I don't have no hopes anymore, because Stephen Curry was supposed to be that final glue that was supposed to piece it together to stay consistent, because his consistency would have kept Kevin Durant. But hence him not being consistent, I don't see them staying together. But with me saying all of that, this team is still good enough to beat the Rockets. What are the Rockets? James Harden. What is he at the end of the day? A Tony Romo, a.k.a. Zab Judah, of the NBA playoffs. He has not proven shit. He is a Peyton Manning, dog. When it's all said and done, he chokes. And trust and believe, in that second round, the Rockets is not winning the series. Anybody that's rooting for them and thinking that they are, that's like rooting for Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. I know that's boxing, but I'm just giving an analogy here. Rooting for the wrong side, basically. Rooting for the side that doesn't make sense. That's what's going on right there. The Houston Rockets, we all know, is not beating the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors is not losing to that team. That's not happening. Get that bullshit out y'all heads. Like I told y'all, because he knows this sport is bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. What did I say the Western Conference going to look like? Did I not say in my last live stream? I said the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers. Remember what I told y'all that shit? Motherfuckers didn't hear me. Because trust me, the Portland Trailblazers, they going to beat the Denver Nuggets. If the Denver Nuggets gets past the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to whoop their ass. And I think that's going to be a 6 or 7-game series. But who said it? Come on now. Who's the one that said it? I'm the prediction king, folks. That it was going to be the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers, because I wanted to see something different. Let's trust and believe. The Golden State Warriors is whooping the Rockets' ass. Rockets is not passing the second round. And when that happens, y'all remember to put respect on my name. So like I said, the Rockets did a good job. They dispatched, the Utah Jazz. But guess what? When it's all said and done, their ass is getting lost. Their ass is losing in 6 games in the second round of the playoffs. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.